Let's prepare our tools and start making a very beautiful ear cuff with 28 and 18 gauge wire, main tools, flush cutter, round nose pliers, and chain nose pliers. This ear cuff is very simple and easy, and you could use this technique to make midi ring or even a complete ring too. Whatever you decide to make, you should consider the size. For the ear cuff and this tutorial, we just pick up another ear cuff that we have, or simply you could see the tutorial on how to know the size of the ear cuff on the link above and determine one time of the length that you need. Then put 18 gauge wire on that size, and we need 2 times and a half. This actually is a little longer of what we need, but it's easier to manage to twist the wire, and then we will cut the extra part out. So this is the first structure that we need, and of course, and before doing anything, we make it all straight. I'm using chain nose pliers and put it inside to make it all straight. Then bend it a little in the midpoint and make start and ending point of this wire strand close together and make a tie just like this. Squeeze it a little because we are going to make a very little teardrop shape. And continue. Make both parts of this strand a little curved so that they meet each other and we have something like an eye shape in between. You could make this shape a little longer or wider, and here I decide to use my round nose pliers to make this shape a little more squeezed, just like this, and on both sides make it a little more circular. This is our first eye shape, and I'm going to repeat the same for about 3 or 4 times. It depends on the size that you desire. I'm doing it for the second time with round nose pliers. And how do we know how many of these shapes is needed? It's so simple. We have a one time of the length that we desire here, and just we put it on the structure, and this is the length that we desire, and we are going to cut it on the extra part of the wire. So with flush cutter I cut the extra parts out so that it would remain a little space to make 2 tiny loops at the end. So with round nose pliers again, I would make a very tiny and little loop at one side and just repeat it at the other side too. If it's not a complete loop, just you make a U shape, and then with chain nose pliers squeeze it more to be tight and there wouldn't be any open spaces. This wire I'm using is the coated one, and if you have noticed, this is a little orangish, and I should be very careful when I'm using tools on it. Okay, here before making the weaving parts, check it out with round nose pliers, and if it's needed, just edit the shapes and forms here to make it more symmetrical and more beautiful, of course. And now with the thinner wire of about 28 gauge, I make a tie on one of these eye-shaped parts, just like this. I insert the wire in, make it all squeezed with my nail and with my fingers, of course, and make it twice, mean 2 times of wire wrapping and making a tie. Then repeat that for the front side. Insert the thinner wire in, wrap it all around, and repeat that for 2 times, and again for the other side. It's just a simple weaving pattern that we usually use it for making a bail on wire wrapping pendants, but here I'm using it to decorate my ear cuff, and you could use it for any parts of wire jewelries that you like. So I continue wrapping this thinner wire 2 times on one side and then 2 times on the other side, and repeat it till the end of this eye shape. Now that you have done wrapping wire, just cut it out at the very end with flush cutter at the starting point. And of course, don't you forget to squeeze the start and ending point of those wire wrapping parts with chain nose pliers, and squeeze it well so there wouldn't be any sharp edges left. Stay tuned. We are almost done, just the last additions, and let me make those wire wrapping parts a little better. And here I'm going to make it a little curved with round nose pliers on both sides here, and make it a little just like a U shape with more curved and a start and ending point. And here I see I need to make it a little more fatty here, and to curve this point a little more to be just fit onto the ear. And now this is our very beautiful wire ear cuff. This is so simple and easy. You could make it in minutes and enjoy it so much. Here, if needed, make it a little more flat at the midpoint with chain nose pliers. And at the end, you could change the size of this structure appropriate with your fingers to make a ring or midi ring, or just like me, use it for an ear cuff. What do you prefer? Do you like this structure for a midi ring or a ring, or just an ear cuff? I would be happy to know about your idea, so just comment it below for me, and hope you had enjoyed